Hey everybody, welcome back to the Club Fin DJ interview series. I'm Stitcharoo and I have with me DJ Value Factory, and we're gonna do the deep dive. So it's right off the bat, tell us about how you prepared for submitting your set to Club Fin.
It was a whole process, honestly. I took a lot of time to just make a good demo that I was really proud of, that pushed my own limits. And I spent, man, I probably spent a month on that whole thing, like the entirety of December, just getting it right and trying new things. And then once I got the confirmation that I did make it in, I was ecstatic. And from there, it was just, okay, let's take the demo and now let's make it even better. Because at that point, I kind of started hearing some of the problems with it. And I probably redid 80% of it, like just kind of
Oh
changed it
wow.
up, and it took weeks, and so like a ton of work, just trying to get it to be the best that I possibly can. And after that was done, after that was finalized, I started working on the visuals, and that has also just taken weeks and weeks, probably over a month of just recording, dancing, and editing it all together to make something that is probably one of my best visual and musical kind of combinations that I've ever done. And I'm
Wow.
like it's such a, I can't describe it. It's such a amazing thing. Like
Your
I'm
visuals are all
I
super
can't
dope.
hold myself back, so to say. Yeah.
I still love your FrostCon set with the Leroy using that
The,
music video in the middle of it, just choice.
well, you can't just be serious all the time. You gotta have some fun every now and then, right? Like put a meme in there just for fun. Like I always when I always like when I see another DJ like just put something in there, like put something funny in there, I just say to my friends, you gotta have a meme in there. Like it's you can't be serious all the time. You gotta be silly.
Yeah, hell, like, even I'm starting to do that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, that's super awesome. So with that, what are some of the techniques that you use for your visuals and audio?
For the audio, I abuse the crap out of stems. Like most DJ softwares should have it these days, but just taking, for example, the vocals out of a track, that can go a long way into into letting you do new mixes that you haven't been able to do before. Or just, like, hey, I just don't need the drums in a specific section when I'm doing this double. Just get the drums out. Like it's so useful. And then
Nobody
a
needs
little
drums.
smaller thing. Yeah. Yeah, screw drums. We don't need those. The smaller thing is this little break stop technique that I use, which just like, just you have the song playing, but then it's like, it kind of ends up stopping. It's just a really nice and pleasant way of just taking a track out if you're doing a double. And then for visuals, it's just variety, just getting as many different ideas and variations of something as possible into the time that I have, right, within my energy constraints, right? And like, I don't know, that something like that tickles my brain. I try to do that in everything that I can, especially visuals, because you have so much time to fill and you need to have so many ideas to put into that time.
So you said you were DJing, about a year before Aqua. Were you DJing any live events, or have you DJed live events? And if so, what is your experience with, like, VR, and how do those 2 experiences differ?
Well, I started out just DJing for myself pretty much. I don't know, I just had a attraction to that for some reason. I spent like a whole year just mixing for myself and enjoying music in a different way. And then, Aqua happened and I started getting into the VR for a DJ scene, and that was the whole experience there. And I have never played a live show before last year, for example, right? Like, um, I did um, a work on in the Netherlands and then two room parties, and that was
Great.
insane. So just going from
Nice.
playing for myself to playing in VR to playing live, it's been this kind of natural progression, and it's I it's all just come naturally. Like I can't describe it, but like they're all very different, right? Like VR has a more sort of, how do I describe this, more chill vibe. You can't get as many people in the same instance to really like just vibe to the music, and everybody can tailor their own experience in the VR club, whereas in a real in meet space, right? It's so much more visceral, right? And it's so different. So the two spaces are very much different, right? And especially so with the whole pre-recorded in VR versus live in meet space, right? Like live is cool, right? And I like doing live stuff, but you can do so much more with pre-recorded. You can make a whole experience with pre-recorded, which is not
Oh
something
yeah.
I expected to be doing when I went into playing VR clubs. Like I found that on my way, and I fell in love with it. So
Well,
that's the difference between the two for me.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, like even a pre-recorded for a live set, you could do a ton of stuff with time-coded visuals, time-coded
Oh
laser
yeah,
shows, all sorts of stuff. Like there is
I've never ended
no
up doing that though,
shame.
so I don't have experience there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like there's no shame doing a pre-recorded or live set, it's just different experience for different audience. Do you have like a favorite VR club that you like
Oh,
playing at?
that's a hard one.
Or or rather than
For
favorite, is there a fun one that you like?
Yeah, okay, Sunday service. That's
Sunday service.
it's such a chill place, and it kind of feels like a VR club home in a way. 'Cause it's so chill, and it happens pretty much every Sunday, and I could just go there and just vibe and have fun and talk with friends and listen to the music. It's just a very relaxed atmosphere, and I really like it there.
Yeah, shout out to Strobs.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. On that, do you have any mentors or inspiration that you go to?
Uh, Not exactly any mentors, but I've you listen to a bunch of sets and you end up picking up on various things that they do and various things that DJs do and various tricks, and it it's hard to really place individual things where like hey, here's like a bunch of like my inspiration or something, right? But I can say that, for example, um Chaotic Canine, CK9C, um I saw their performance at Furality Festival, and I love the music and I love the visuals. And I just remember looking at the visuals and the harmony between the visuals and the music, and just thinking, this is really cool, and I really like something about this. And it took me a couple of months for it to click that this is something that I want to do myself. Like this, I want to do something like this. And that was, for example, the start of how I started doing my visuals. Like that's the inspiration for the Vibe Night visuals that I did, which is the first kind of high effort visuals that I did, right? And then for music, God, I've listened to Low Prof sets so many times, and there's something that Low Prof and Kazuki do that I can't quite describe it, but they just with music, they manage to just evoke this sense of euphoria and this feeling of letting go, just with the music. And that's something that I've tried to do with just the music, but I realized that's not quite my style. But in the harmony of visuals and music, I know I can do something there, and I've been trying to get that feeling. I've been trying to
Oh
find
yeah.
how to do that. And of course, Scaly has his Silva set was so good, like
Oh
musically
my
and
god.
visually, and just he put in so much effort into that, and that's been just sitting in the back of my head of like, how can I
Oh yeah.
take some of the silliness, but also like some of the seriousness of the visuals, and also just run with those ideas.
Schlick too. He had a
Oh
really
yeah,
good like skits in between his set for Silva as well.
I have a little Easter egg in the hologram of the Umbra set, where you
Oh.
have to watch out for it, but there's a little slick Easter egg in there.
Man. And is it a glow schlick?
I won't spoil it. You'll just have to like keep an eye out on the hologram. It's a small subtle thing that shows up for like I don't know 30 seconds or so, but it's there. It's a funny little thing.
That's like for Aqua, I think it was. Scaly Bloke had like brimstone in his hologram for a brief moment.
Right.
Oh man, awesome, awesome. So let's go back in time a bit. What was your inspiration to start DJing? You said you were DJing for yourself for about a year. What made you start spinning and throwing shapes?
Uh I it's a bit hard to remember, but I just remember watching. So I was into the demo scene quite heavily, like just observing the demo scene and just being inspired by it. And
What's the demo
there
scene?
was the demo scene is just this like it's hard to describe again, but it's this gathering of people who are very into technical hardware and software things who try to push the limits of hardware with software and just making really impressive things. Like for example, making entire audiovisual experiences and like minute long movies in something that's as small as 64 kilobytes, or just pushing like the limits of really old hardware. And I was really inspired by that, and that's like I have a lot of my roots in that just from observing that and being inspired by that. And there's this demo scener who goes by Ferris. They're a part of the Logic Coma demo group, and he made this video. He uploaded this video walking through his process of playing a live set at a demo scene party. And I was just watching that, and it was like an hour long video, more than an hour long. And I was just like so captured by it. Something about it was really capturing me, right? And I thought to myself, hey, I should try this. So I reached out to my friend who was doing music production at the time, and I just asked him, hey, how would I get started with DJing? And he pointed me at Virtual DJ and just said, hey, you can use this for free, no problem. And, try this out, see how it goes. And I tried it out that
Come
night,
torture with
and
Casio.
yeah. So, yeah, I just tried it out, and it just stuck with me ever since. Like, I've just been using Virtual DJ since. I used the mouse and keyboard for a whole year, right? Like, I don't know.
Totally valid.
It just went from there. That's what got me started. Something magical happened there. I can't quite tell you what it was, but it just stuck with me.
Yeah, DJing with MS Paint. But no, that's
Maybe.
entirely valid. A lot of DJs are starting nowadays with mouse and keyboard. You don't need to buy like the super expensive CDJ
Oh yeah, for sure.
3000s or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard's
I did
totally
that for a whole
legit.
year.
Ah, man. But on top of that, are you still using mouse and keyboard, or do you have, you said you use Virtual DJ. Do you have other
Yeah.
hardware, software, MIDI controllers?
Well, I use an
Some blowing the
FLX6
microphone?
now. No, I still use mouse and keyboard every now and then just to like maybe do a quick mix, or like if I'm using my laptop and like I'm out and about and I don't have my controller with me, just try a mix or something in Virtual DJ with mouse and keyboard, or trackpad and keyboard rather. So that's still there. Mouse and keyboard mixing is honestly just a really nice skill to have in a way. But I use an FLX6 now for most of my mixing. It's a 4-deck controller, and it works pretty well for me. I've been using it. I used the DJ 400 for like a week or two, and then I realized I'm gonna grow out of this really quick, so I got an FLX6. So Virtual DJ plus FLX6 for like recording stuff, and then I kind of record individual pieces of a set and then stitch them together in a DAW Reaper later on to make a whole 1 hour set, so that I don't have to like record a 1 hour take and have it be perfect. I record as much as I can in one take, and sure, I make mistakes, but then I go back and fix them by recording small takes and then stitching them together later on.
Nice. DAW is a digital audio workspace, correct?
Yeah, digital audio workstation.
Workstation. Excuse me. Very nice. Very nice. So, that kind of wraps up the interview for the most part. I like to end these asking the same question to every DJ. For those who would like to get their foot starting spinning discs, what is a piece of advice you would have for these up and comers?
You could just start doing it. Like seriously, just go ahead and start doing it. Just get Virtual DJ or get any other DJing software, and just go grab the music you love already and just go play it. Just load it into the software and just go crazy. Like all you need is music and to love the music. And if you have that, you're good, right? For music, you can just like get like a Beatport or Tidal subscription, right? And most DJing software has integrations with those, so you can stream those into your DJ software, right? And Virtual DJ is free to use with mouse and keyboard forever, as far as I understand. Like I used it for a year, I didn't have to pay a dime, right? And like it's easy to get started, and you can just go ahead and do it. Like it's all out there. Just go start. Nothing's stopping you.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Value Factory. It was an absolute delight talking with you. And
Thank you for
we'll
having
catch
me.
you at Furality Umbra. Bye, everybody.